Hello and welcome to another update video about Polygon MATIC. Just want to cover it quickly because we did break above an important resistance line here. So generally my view for Polygon MATIC, now we can only always maneuver in this space with probabilities. Generally my view is that we would need a lower low, in this wave count here, this wave pattern, this Elliott wave count. There are two possibilities. And I keep it simple for now. The main one that I really am in favor of is that obviously after this all-time high here, we came down in an impulsive wave A, which is all part of a correction anyway. So first corrective wave A, second corrective wave B. A wave B typically can be very, very tricky, can be difficult to detect, can trick people out. And in this case, I think it did that. We made a new all-time high as well, but this is all possible in a wave B. Wave B basically is not a sustainable uptrend. It is only a wave which basically corrects this impulsive move down here. This wave A corrects that wave A, and then we are now in this wave C. And the wave C typically, especially in the crypto space, comes down below the wave A. So this would be a lower low, and that would typically for altcoins come into the region of the 88.7% FIB level and the 78.6% FIB level. So basically here between 32 and 60 cents. This is my general expectation. This is how I would interpret this wave pattern ideally. Now there is an alternative scenario, and of course we want to understand, not only be stubborn and just look at one wave count. No, there is an alternative, and we want to be prepared for any scenario here. So the other alternative would be that we basically started that this here was the ABC already, and then you started a new move up, basically a leading diagonal here after this correction. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we then did, that we formed here an ABC in this smaller degree, A, B, C. So, and the question is now, is that C wave, is that low already in? It is certainly possible. This scenario is possible. If I had to give it a probability, I would give this scenario here 30%, which would assume we won't come down into this yellow target area down here, and that we could have already completed the correction. The lowest point in this scenario that is possible is the dollar. Below a dollar you would fall back to that main scenario that I talked about. So we still have a chance here to fall back to $1, to $1, where the bulls would have a final chance. Also in this scenario we would not go down to 60 cents. But if you lose the dollar level, then you are coming down to the 60-cent level, and then we talk about that first scenario. But that is not that relevant. So understand that there are two scenarios. The $1 level is the very, very important one. At the moment we are at 150, and we are currently breaking above this descending trend line. That is very relevant because we talked about it in the last video, that we had repeating the patterns overall here. So you've got this ascending trend line, you've got this ascending trend line. You basically here have also again an ascending trend line, so, and you're repeating the pattern again and again. So here, but you get smaller. So here you have a head and shoulders pattern, here you have a head and shoulders pattern, and here you also have a head and shoulders pattern. Sorry, not very nicely drawn, but these are three head and shoulders pattern. In each of these steps down here on the ladder, Polygon MATIC did the same stuff: head and shoulders, break down, retest, form a support as resistance, break down again, head and shoulders, retest, and maybe we are going to break down now. And this would be imminent now, because this is basically the, you can call this already formed the right shoulder, or maybe we are just forming it now. If you compare it to what happened previously here, we had basically two right shoulders, if you want to call it like that. Had a small right shoulder and a larger right shoulder, and here you've got the same stuff, and we're just forming that larger right shoulder. And the next step, if you come down and you're going to lose here this 144 support level, then you could get down to the next FIB level. The next FIB level would be at $1. Oh, sorry. The next FIB level would be at $1.08, because we in the previous, when we broke before, we also came down to the next FIB level. Here we also came down to the, no, we didn't come down to the next FIB level. The next FIB level, however, would be at $1.08. And I think if we're losing this support here at 144, then you are coming down to that $1.08 level. However, you can define here this descending trend line, and it looks at the moment like the price has broken above it. Now that doesn't mean a lot, but I still wanted to point it out to you, because if we now see a volume confirmation, see green volume, see a green candle move away from here and volume, then this could mean higher prices. And then we have first target here around 165. That's the 50-day moving average, and that is also the previous high here. Yeah, and then the next target would be the 200-day moving average at 173. However, we currently can't see a green candle yet. Maybe if I go to the 1 hour chart, yeah, you can see something here. But again, we don't really have too much volume, so I would want to see some volume. At the moment, it's looking fairly corrective still to me, and there is a risk that this descending trend line isn't hold, okay? So you will break through here below 148. At the moment, we're holding above it, and that is solid, that is good. It's important for the price. I still have my doubts that this is sustainable. At least we made a higher high here compared to that previous one. But to really talk about a confirmed uptrend from here, I would want to break above the 50 and the 200-day moving average. That would be very important. We can't see it yet, but it's certainly a first good sign. But bear in mind, there is still a big risk because we have no confirmed breakout yet. Yeah, we're just doing the retest, and this is currently what we're doing. Looking at the indicators, would they support that? Would they support that? So we've got here the 4-hour chart, RSI in the bullish range would definitely support that. Even more room for further upside. The MACD bullish crossover, losing buying momentum at the moment, and the stochastic RSI as well. So there is a risk returning down. But if this support is holding, which it looks like, then we could of course flip that back to bullish. There is still more room on the upside on the RSI, so definitely more upside potential is there. And what I find very relevant is here the bullish MACD crossover on the daily. The daily chart, of course, very relevant, and that could definitely be another buy signal and support that. Also, the stochastic RSI seems to be going higher from here. So, you know, it's a potential breakout point, but what makes me a bit skeptical is, you know, we are not breaking out here of a bullish pattern. Yeah, you're not bullish here. You are sort of carefully trying to break out of this descending trend line, but it's not like that you're breaking out of a bull flag or something. Yeah, so there is not really the volume at the moment that would necessarily support that. So I'd be careful with a long trade here. But of course, I'll keep you updated about the moves. And so far, yes, higher price ranges would be possible. The indicators would support it. We are not overbought or anything. And we are just breaking out of this descending trend line. So as I said, 148, if you break below 148, you're going down again. And you're basically below that descending trend line again, and that would be really bearish because that would be a rejection then, and then there's a good chance that we actually form this head and shoulders and break down to the next lower level. So yeah, that's my view here generally on Polygon MATIC. Don't forget that when we complete the correction, we can aim for the 1.618 FIB extension. That is the minimum target for the next major wave up, and we are talking here about a price of 458 to 567. And that also confirms to me that it's not a massive increase. I mean, it's great, but from crypto, in the crypto world, this is not much. It's more like a 3x. Many altcoins currently are at a price range where they would support, or where you can realistically expect a 10x for the next major wave up. And to get the 10x, yeah, Polygon MATIC really needs to get into this yellow target area, and therefore that is also what I primarily expect. But bear in mind, there is no guarantee, and I can only give that a 70% probability to come down here straight away into that yellow target area. The alternative, where we have the low already in, that would be a 30% probability. And yeah, I would be much more in favor of that scenario to do that larger sell-off here, either straight away or with a little bit of a move up first and then come down. Yeah, but bear in mind that alternative here, where we say, okay, the low is already in, that would mean that from here we go to new all-time highs, and that the low really is in, and you're not coming down into that yellow target area anymore. It's hard to believe for me, but there you go. We can only run around here with probabilities in mind. So that's my view here on Polygon MATIC. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, then please smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm, and if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.